Good evening to my YouTube viewers. Today we will continue the yesterday's class and also start the another one too. So remaining feature we will do it. One is age-old traditions, that is ancient traditions. Who are following, the peasantry people are following the ancient traditions, which does not have the more value, that is low value. Their rituals are having very low profile value. Added to this, their work is low, automatically the socio-economic conditions also low. Because of these two main features, they will be marginalized in the society, and politically also they will be disempowerment. And then the peasants are adopted the radical social movement. When it started somewhere else, the stop should be there. So when they started with the radical social movement, it is a traveling, moving, going on, end with the institutionalized social movement. And we can also call the radical social movement is equal to the uninstitutionalized social movement, according to Women and Singbom. When it is moving from radical to institutionalized social movement, some changes had been taken place based upon their ideologies. If it is radical or uninstitutionalized movements, what is their ideology? Radical ideology. What type of changes? Sudden changes. That is, rapid changes had been taken place. For anyone, initially so much of speed. When it is not going to happen, then the speed will be minimized. Like this, the radical changes is always with a rapid change. So, when you compare with the institutionalized, their social mobility, their mass mobilization, how it is? Ideology may be one and same, but the mobilization does not have that much of speed what we observe in the radical approach. It was gradual change in the society. During the process from radical approach to radical social movement to institutionalized social movement, there is a good opportunity for the peasants. What is that? New collective identity formation. Earlier they were not be noticed. So because of this traveling, moving of the social movement A to B, they will be identified. How? New collective identity formation for the peasants. By this, the interface in India is over. And then we will switch over to the peasants and revolutionary mechanism or revolutionary movements. Under this subheading, the social isolation, cultural segregation, economic exploitation, these three main features of peasants keep them as a subordinate group politically and also marginalized group. Earlier we have taken in another way, one is the traditions and the another point. But here it is social, cultural and economic exploitation we have taken to keep them as marginalized group or politically subordinate group. According to Wolf, he observed historical revolutions and political upheavals both put together, that much is not sufficient to overcome or to reach their own objective, so that they will take the support from peasants. The peasants' support is very strong to win anything. By that, after taking the support from the peasants, it shakes the 20th world. Next, these peasants, as alone, they cannot reach their own objectives. They cannot get their achievements. Why? Because they are not totally intelligent. Muscular wise it's okay, but mentally they will not be that much of efficiency they are having. So that somehow anyhow we want to reach, they want it. That's why they want to join in another group. What is that another group name is? Violent group. So in that violent or rebellion group, the peasant group has gone and joined or participated in the rebellion group. Why? Because in order to reach their goal. Earlier, why? Because earlier they will be suffered, discriminated, discomforted by the dominant local people, maybe landlords. What type of suffering? One is demographic crisis, that is less in the population. Second one is ecological crisis. Third one is the crisis of authority, crisis of power. And this peasantry is described in two ways. One is land owning middle class peasantry. Second one is without land, that is landless peasantry, where they are residing outside the village or peripheral area or fringe area, where the local dominated people or landlords domination is totally absent or weakened or lessened. So by this we can have the minimum knowledge about the peasant revolutionary movement. Once again, interface in India, peasants interface in India, the remaining feature failed. We will see. What is that? Age-old pattern of peasants, low type of rituals. We should not say low, maybe the very nominal types of rituals, but not highly systematic. Second one is low income. Why? Because there is no work to get that. Muscle is there, work is not there. So low socio-economic condition. These two features are keep them in marginalized group as well as politically subordinate group. Then these peasants' social movements are how it is. One is radical social movement. Second one is institutionalized social movement. These two are not totally separated. This is ongoing process we pointed out. Starting point is radical approach. They have adopted radical peasants social movements. Its ideology is radical ideology. And the changes are abrupt, sudden, violent, rapid changes. They will bring it if it is the radical approach. This radical approach will also called as uninstitutionalized social movement. Okay, the starting is radical social movement, where it is traveling, where it is going towards the institutionalized social movement. In that place, what is happening? Here the ideology may be one and same, they may not change it, but the speed is minimized, speed limit has taken place, gradual changes had been taken place. So while it was moving from radical social movement to institutionalized social movement, during this process, the traveling process, some opportunity the peasants were enjoyed. What is that? They will be noticed as collective identity formation. What collection? Newly collected identity formation. Earlier identity is different. New identity is different. New collective identity formation had been taken place. By this, peasants interface in India is completed. Then we will another sub area is peasants and revolutionary movement. How it is? We will sit over. Social isolation. They will be segregated, separated. That's why we are using the word isolation. Second one is culturally segregated. their culture is different, their way of celebrations is different. So all the people who are celebrating one type of activity, they will be segregated as a group. So culturally segregated, and economic exploitation, it is always there, more work, less amount paid. So these three features are keep the peasants in marginalized group as well as the again politically disempowerment. According to Mr. Wolf, what he noticed, when he observed historical revolutions and political upheavals at the great level, at the large scale level, both put together, even though there is no sufficient strength for them to reach their goal, they have taken the help from the peasants. Peasants' support is important in order to shake the 20th world. That's why in last classes I told you, peasants are more useful to bring the social changes also. We may not provide the good things or facilities for them, but we utilized their strength for some other thing. And then sometimes these peasants, as alone, a single group, cannot reach their targets or achievements. At that time, what they want to do? They want to go and mingle with another group. What is the another group name? Violent group or rebellion group. So peasants are participated in rebellion group. Why? Because earlier they will be discriminated, disturbed by the landlords. In which form? Demographic crisis, ecological crisis, and also crisis for authority and the power. And then the peasantry is divided into two types: land owning middle class peasantry, landless people are also there, only laborers, maybe artisan laborers, maybe temporary agricultural laborers, maybe whatever it may be, they may be and come under the laborers. So those people are residing where? Not the center of the village, at the fringe point, peripheral point, outside the village. Out of need, these people will call them. By that, the dominant people in the society or the village, their domination will be minimum, sometimes no or nil at the stop. By this, our lecture is completed. Please go through the video once or twice. By that, you can easily understand the important key point. Peasants' movement, it will certainly come, either one way or another way, in the civils or the group or whatever it may be. Okay, this is Bindu taking leave from the YouTube platform. Please like, share and subscribe. Many people do not subscribe it. Please make it favor to me when I am doing the favor to you. I should not demand like this. When you are enjoying my lecture, it is the minimum courtesy to do this one. Okay, whatever it may be, good day and good night. Be happy.